So balancing equations. This one, my goal is to show you a little trick that'll make it a little bit easier. So we have carbon over here, we have 7. We have hydrogen, we have 6 here, none here, so we have 6. Oxygen, we have 2 here, so we have 4 in total. Okay, the other side, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Carbon, there's 1. Sorry, I like to make it equal, so carbon's first, then we're going to go hydrogen, and then next is oxygen. So hydrogen, there's 2 here. Oxygen, there's 2 here, 1 here, so we have a total of 3. So the first thing we should do is minimum. So check to see if there's any metals. If there's no metals, we move on. No metals. Ions. Remember, ion has to be on both sides of the equation. Don't have either of those, so don't have to worry about that. Non-metals, and non-metals that are not oxygen or hydrogen. So we're going to do non-metals. So we're going to start with carbon. And notice they're not balanced, so I'm going to balance this out by putting a coefficient of 7. So this changes this to 7. We now have 14 oxygen plus 1, so 15 oxygen. Our carbons are now balanced, so now we can move on to oxygen and hydrogen. Remember that if one of them is diatomic, to do that step last, you can do it the other way. You'll still get the same answer, but it's going to be a lot more steps. So if you can remember, do your diatomic molecule, which is right here, O2, last. It'll save you a lot of time. So I'm going to actually do hydrogen first, and that'll make it quicker. So put a 3 here, turns it into 6. We now have 3 oxygen plus 14. So we have 17 oxygen. So now we're all balanced except oxygen. I'm going to turn this oxygen, I'm going to actually balance it right here. And so we're going to take this oxygen and we are going to get it to 17. So I'm going to put, let's see, we have 2 here. And we need this to equal 15. So I'm going to put 7.5 as my coefficient. Because if you take 7.5 times 2, that'll be 15 plus 2, 17. We are now balanced, okay? But now what I'm going to do is I want to make all these coefficients to be a whole number. So I don't want this, see how this is a decimal or a fraction? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double every one of them. So in C7602, the coefficient would be 1, so I'm going to turn it into a 2. And that is going to double our carbons, and then I'm going to turn this into a 15. Sorry, I'll double them first, and then we'll see how they match up. The 7 will turn into a 14, and the 3 will turn into a 6. Okay. Now we're going to add up all our numbers and see what we get. So carbon over here, we have 14. We have 12 hydrogen, and we have 4 plus 30, so we have 34 oxygen. On the right side, we have 14 carbon. So 14 carbon. For hydrogen, 6 times 2 is 12. And then for oxygen, we have 28 plus 6 would be 34. 14, 12, 34, balanced.